The next version, Web 3.0.
The exploration of a whole new universe, or more accurately, a metaverse.
Facebook has changed its name, or rebranded, to Meta.
Welcome to Web 3.
Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse.
In my house, we celebrate Boxing Day. My husband is English, and that's actually a thing over there. The day after Christmas in the United Kingdom is another bank holiday that's referred to as Boxing Day. It has nothing to do with boxes or even the sport of boxing anymore. Essentially, it's just a day that you spend with neighbors and friends and you eat leftovers. It's kind of like a Christmas hangover. So for our Christmas hangover, we went to a friend's home and got all the kids together. And this particular friend had purchased a pair of Oculus goggles for his son. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Maybe you've seen the pictures. They are a pair of giant goggles that you wear. It allows you to play a video game in a sort of virtual reality. That was the pitch, at least, when they first came out. When I tried on these Oculus goggles on Boxing Day, I realized that it was something entirely different. My experience wasn't a very long one, so I put these glasses on, and suddenly I'm transported into an elevator, and it is incredible how real it looks and it feels. And I pressed a button, and I went up in the elevator, and the elevator opened, and I was standing on the top of a building with a tiny little ledge. And I could hear the people around me in the real universe saying, you know, just step out into the ledge and jump off. And I went, I'm not jumping off of this ledge. There's no way I'm jumping off of this ledge. I mean, I was aware, of course, that in the universe, my feet were on the ground, but seeing is believing. So in this reality, I was convinced that I was actually on top of a building and they were asking me to jump, and I was terrified. I was not going to jump off. I said, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. I tried to inch my way forward, and finally I said, nope, I'm taking these off. And they all kind of laughed at me. And then my friend went up next. Pretty much the same process. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then my husband thought it would be funny to push my friend, of course, in the universe, just give him a little push. And my friend fell over onto the floor into the universe and screamed, ah! He was genuinely terrified. He took the glasses off and he said he felt like he was actually dying, actually thought that he was going to die from this little push. And I thought, wow, someone's actually going to die from a heart attack probably, right? I mean, that's how real everything becomes when you put these goggles on. And the person that was hosting us informed us that you actually have to sign a waiver to play because people have already actually died. How's that for a game? Now, why am I telling you this? Because what we're talking about and what I experienced was the coming of the metaverse. You've heard about it. Facebook recently changed their name to Meta. I mean, everybody's talking about the metaverse. There was a tract of virtual land that sold for $4.3 million in the metaverse. And guess what? After what I just experienced, I can tell you that that was actually a good investment. Snoop Dogg, the rapper, has a $17 million NFT collection. That's a virtual art collection. What do you do with virtual art? You're probably asking yourselves, well, you put it in a virtual world, in your virtual house, on a virtual plot of land. The second reason, the more important reason I'm telling you this, is because it scared me. It scared me because I felt in my gut that I had stumbled upon a missing piece of this authoritarian puzzle. Think about it. All of the radical changes that we've experienced in society over the last 2 years, somehow it all just perfectly aligns with the coming of the metaverse. Social distancing, people afraid, genuinely afraid to see one another's faces. I mean, what better solve for that than to only communicate with one another via the metaverse? Just throw on a pair of goggles and meet up virtually. Come to my house in the virtual world. The never before seen national shutdown of schools to combat COVID. Virtual learning established to combat a virus that has an approximate 0% chance of harming any child. Children made to exist behind masks anyway. Well, what better priming could there have been for a meta existence? Soon, children are going to be told to stay home, put on their goggles, and to go to class. And they'll be convinced, by the way, that they are actually in a classroom sitting next to their peers, because that's how real it feels behind those goggles. Only this time, their parents aren't going to have to worry about any germs. There'll be no need for parents to physically go into work anymore either. Just throw on a pair of goggles and be immediately transported into your office. Isolation and more technology. What we're talking about, what I'm trying to communicate to you, is that we are on the brink of transhumanism. Human beings are becoming the computers. I want you to think about that the next time you hear words like biotech, biology and technology merging, mRNA vaccines, our DNA being fused with technology. What we are on the brink of is the next iteration of the World Wide Web, and it should terrify you. So welcome to Web 3.